Hey guys, it's Steve and I wanted to take a moment to talk about something that was very special to me. Right now, it's just after Thanksgiving. The whole family is putting up their Christmas decorations, as you can see. But Thanksgiving was a very special Thanksgiving this year. Every year, I've talked about this on the channel before, every year my sister and I used to make our own parade. So we'd watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and then we'd make our own parade out of boxes and Legos and stuffed animals and balloons, and it was just a lot of fun. But as the years went by, they got a little more complex and we were actually writing speeches about what we were thankful for, coming up with a theme for the whole parade, and building more set pieces ourselves. But it's been 17 years, and my sister and I have agreed it's time to move on, to grow up, and this is the final year for our tradition. The following footage is what we filmed from the final Thanksgiving Day Parade. Welcome to the 2018 Mazalstridian Thanksgiving Day Parade. To start off our show, we're gonna start with the Motorcycle Brigade, starring Skipper the Lego Penguin on a remote control motorcycle. Woo!
Do I start the music?
Yeah, go for it. Wait, no, wrong track. Wrong track.
Wrong track?
Wrong track. Do the other one.
Alright.
Track 5, I told you!
Ouch. I told you. Here we go.
Lost the tire.
You lost it. There he goes.
Why is he headless?
And there we go!
Whee!
Oh, get back up here.
Next, you're going to have a wide variety of interesting balloons. We went for real balloons this year. Here are our Thanksgiving balloons celebrating the 17th and final Mazalstridian Thanksgiving Day Parade.
They're shaped like real balloons.
Just mad dash across the house.
Here we have the biggest balloon, the gerbil. I like the gerbil. Racing across the sky with its small acorn. Actually quite a large acorn in proportion to this gerbil.
It's Hamtaro.
And our final balloon. The classic children's drawing of a hand turkey.
Gobble gobble.
Now let's really get started with our show. This next float is the main float for the parade. On the front you're going to have some Lego Doctor Who characters, and on the back we're going to have a little harken back to the original days of the Mazalstridian Thanksgiving Day Parade with Sparkles the dog. Sparkles the dog was our first ever balloon on the Mazalstridian Thanksgiving Day Parade. Here they come. Each of the platforms is adorned with golden beads.
Fancy.
Is that the doctor in Sparkle's arms?
Yes, it is.
Look at the dollars.
Happy Thanksgiving! As we turn around here, the doctor is going to come off of the float and give his Thanksgiving Day Parade speech. You can zoom into the doctor a lot.
I am.
Good afternoon, ladies and Daleks, and welcome to the 17th annual Mazalstridian Thanksgiving Day Parade. This is going to be the best, but also the last year for this timeless parade tradition. My name is the Doctor. I come from the planet of Genifragia and also happen to be over 500 years old. I have had an unforgettable time living with my friends, always fighting for justice, participating in events like this, and helping those around me. But all good things must come to an end. This year, we celebrate and are thankful for the end of those old things and the beginning of new things that arise out of unknown opportunities. I'd like to tell you a story. About 20 years ago, two little girls decided to play a game. In this game, they got to make up all the characters of their own world. This game only expanded as the years went on until the worlds had their own different dimensions, planets with unique weather patterns, futuristic travel, civilizations and races of people, sciences, politics, newspapers, religions, languages, bugs and animals, music, television, pop culture, history, school systems, and universal healthcare, etc. Everything these two little girls imagined or played in their bedrooms became another story in the rich history of these worlds. These two little girls became the first presidents of Allstrid and Mazia, which combined to form Mazalstrid, when the two girls were in the same room together so they could play with all their characters at once, in an in-between dimension called Dimension 74. Soon, after these creations took place, those two little girls watched a parade on TV and thought, we could do that. Ah! Sorry, I'm not as strong as I used to be, you know, the war and everything. As I was saying, we could do that. Thus, the yearly Thanksgiving parade was born 17 years ago. These girls, they are now in their 20s and in college. They are growing up and maturing. It is time. It is time to move forward with their lives, leaving behind their past to be a wonderful memory, which can manage itself without them. Allstrid and Mazia have also matured, and they are self-sufficient. It is time to move on, moving into adulthood. Most of all, it is time to move into the real world and accept the world as it is with all its flaws. Imagining a better life in this world will get you much further than imagining your own idealized world that does not exist. Now is when they really need to make an impact on the real world like they have for their imaginary worlds and for each other. Let's all use this opportunity to start a new life. Back to my home of Jinifragia. I used to be mayor. It used to be a bustling space city on its own little planet. Red and desert-like, warm and homey. That was before it happened. The planet was attacked for about the 1000th time, but this time it was serious. We barely escaped with our lives in a tiny rocket flying up as the planet beneath us exploded. We lost some that day. But the biggest impact was the way that brothers turned against each other, trying to blame their own partners for the disaster which really was out of any of our control. What was left of the city was still being torn apart by their own hands. Needless to say, I was overturned as mayor. I was practically exiled. Yes, it was tragic and deeply emotional for all of us. The loss of our home planet and the fact that we had to cruise space in this tiny rocket with nowhere to go. But let me tell you, all of my friends who are watching today, whether in person or over video after the fact, we just needed to move on. Some tragedies cannot be avoided, but the way you handle those tragedies will make all the difference. We just needed to move on. We found a new planet, and while we still tell stories of the past, we have found a new happiness. And now back to those girls. They are no longer children, and as fondly as they remember their old worlds, it is time to grow up and move on, starting something new and possibly better. So, what is there to change to? Where do our lives go now? Well, for those two little girls, there are many opportunities coming up in the near future. One example of starting a new stage in life is changing the family dynamic. Both those girls, all grown up, have boyfriends. There have been offers to spend Thanksgiving with them elsewhere, but they declined. They just had to have a good old traditional family Thanksgiving one more year to send it off right. They had to have one final year to conclude this stage of their life and move on into the future. The coming year brings new relationships, new personal choices, new understanding as they continue to learn and grow an understanding of other people and their lives and feelings. There will also be plenty of new ideas, new traditions waiting to happen, and there will even be new interests as they branch into different school and job fields. Not to mention, there will be new opportunities, chances to use their talents to do something great in a way all their own. But by far, the biggest and most exciting change into the new in everyone's life is the revelation of the good news in the New Testament. For so long, people lived in fear. But when Jesus came to earth to live and die and rise again, a new hope arose. Like I said, we are grateful for the old and new in our lives this year. But what we are most thankful for is Jesus Christ and his offer of new life and new beginnings in heaven. Everything changed when Christ came on Christmas. Christmas is coming up pretty soon. Oh look! It's Dalek Claus! Marking the end of this year and the beginning of the Christmas season. Come on out and say hello to everyone, Dalek Claus! And thanks to everyone who came out to see the parade today. We are very, very thankful for a lot of things this year. Thank you!
And there goes the float.
Can I get a Jingle Bells?
Got it.
Merry Christmas!
You spooked the dog.
Merry Christmas to all the Daleks and children out there. I have candy.
Yes, Candy.
Here's a kiss from me to you. Take it away.
Bug's like, I want candy.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
And this concludes our Thanksgiving Day Parade. So yeah, that was the footage. Like I said, it's very special to me, and I hope you enjoyed watching it like we enjoyed putting it on. And I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you have a great Christmas holiday season. Thanks for watching. See you guys.